So I think the journey that Sam goes on in this film is going to set the stage for what comes going forward.
Wait for it.
What kind of role do you think this movie is going to play going forward in this universe?
Well, you know, this is a world where we haven't had Avengers, but we have a Captain America who historically has led this team. And we really get a chance to get a reset and really see where the world has been in terms of how it exists without Avengers, what the conflicts have been with some of the other elements in the story that has already been teased in some of our marketing. So it's a real opportunity to plug back into the MCU, take a journey with Captain America, and set the table for what's going to come next.
Oh, I think it's setting off the future, right? It's bringing in a leader in the way that he needs to be brought in our Captain America. And yeah, I'm excited to see the ripples of that, because anything could happen. Everyone gets inspired and things get added on and the train keeps moving. So I'm excited that it's a really awesome launch point.
Harrison Ford, what was it like directing him playing the Red Hulk?
You know, it was a thrill. The second movie I ever saw in a movie theater, because I moved to America when I was a kid at about 10, was Clear and Present Danger. So, you know, beyond just seeing him in Star Wars and Indiana Jones, getting to see him on the big screen in one of the first times I'd ever seen a theater, he loomed very large in my cinematic imagination. And when I first got to meet him, I was so intimidated and nervous, like most people would be, but he was so down to earth. But he's also about the work. And once you get past being starstruck and focus on the work, how do we make this character work in this story? What are the emotional beats? What are the themes? It becomes a very natural process. He was so inspiring. I learned a tremendous amount from Harrison.
So you're basically the new Falcon in the MCU. Anthony Mackie, of course, has a lot of experience playing that character. What kind of advice did he give you?
Well, he kind of led by example, because he was also he was putting on the shield, right? He was carrying the shield, and so he was going through his own transition into a different role that I just got to watch him go through his process. And in some ways, because Joaquin always looked up to Sam Wilson, I was able to basically just try to mirror through my own unique lens, Sam Wilson and why, and it turns out to be a completely different obviously the alchemy is different, the same action would be entirely different if I did it versus him, but it's cool to have a teammate that you could look up to and leads by example, but at the same time Joaquin wants to impress and he's eager to show that he's got his own angle on things, and so that's what makes a really good, fun dynamic.
So this is your first movie in the Marvel Universe. What was it like for you stepping into this major franchise, and in what ways were you able to add your own voice to the project?
It was incredibly exciting, you know. There was such a great team on this film. Our producers, Nate Moore, Kevin Feige, Lou Esposito, Kiana Davidson, and Jillian Henry. I felt so supported over the course of this process, and I learned a tremendous amount from them too, because they know this world and they know these characters incredibly well. Yet they still gave me the opportunity to bring a point of view. And there were really two ways that I was very fortunate to contribute thematically with where this film was going. It's a movie that's about empathy. It's a movie that's about seeing the good in each other. And that was something that they embraced, that we were able to create a through line for over the course of the film. And then also cinematically, you know, I love political and paranoid thrillers. And when you go back to The Winter Soldier, that was a movie that was influenced by the parallax view. That movie influences this, but then there were other films like Point Blank and Les Samurai and films of that era too. I really wanted to make sure that the way we use the camera, the way we use music, the way we use color, the way we brought, you know, cinematic textures, whether it was film grain, whether it was using C-series lenses and other techniques like that, the control of the camera as well in the film. These are all things that are very specific to this movie that everybody embraced. So the look and the feel of this is a little bit different from what you've seen in previous Captain America movies and previous MCU films as well.
What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.